Like some people come to Sahaja Yoga, I have seen it. They want to make a name out of themselves. They become great masters of everything. They want to dominate everything. That is not important. Then there are people who just come here for some politics. They go on saying things here and saying things there. All these things are not going to give you any assent whatsoever. You have come here only to achieve a great life of spirituality, of becoming a guru. Now also this politics business is quite a lot. People try to enjoy the position of a leader. So they try to keep that position in a very special way. There's no need. If you are a leader, because you are a great master, you will remain. Nobody can challenge you. Nobody can dethrone you, and one should not get disturbed with any such fear. Sahaja Yoga is a yoga in which fear doesn't play any part. There's no fear for you. Only thing for your ascent, it is necessary that you introspect. Try to find out what have you been doing. Are you absolutely a humble person? Do you do whatever is told to you? Supposing I tell somebody, just go to, say, some place. He may not go. He'll come and tell me, Mother, you know, this happened, that happened, some excuse. He may not go. But that's not being good. If you have been told to go to that place, there must be some meaning and you have to go. You have to obey. If you are not obedient, then you cannot become a guru, because if you cannot obey, how can others obey you? This obedience is not for any personal gain of the guru, not at all, but for your gain only, for your education, for your ascent. So if such a view is taken, then what happens? That you start getting all the qualities of a guru. Firstly, a guru cannot be fussy man. First and foremost thing. I want this house, I want that thing, I can't like this, I can't like that. If a person who does not know how to get detached from all these habits, he cannot be a guru. How can he ascend? Of course, you have to try that you get rid of all these habits. There are funny habits which make you miserable. Doesn't make miserable others as it makes you miserable. No habit should cling to a guru. First and foremost is that he has to be beyond time. He should not worry about time. Many a times I have seen people, if they have to go to an airport, for example, something enters into their body, they become speedy, suddenly, everybody. Even if I have to go, I am going. All of them will become speedy. Everybody starts running helter-skelter. Why? I am going, you are not going. But it happens. Like that, if you tell somebody you have to go to a function or for some felicitation, people start jumping about. And that's a very modern disease. It was not before. So they start seeing that we are getting late, getting upset. But if you go on worrying like that, you don't go beyond time. And when you go beyond time, you control time. Time is with you all the time. Whenever you go, it happens. I'll give an example of that. We had a little girl in Kabela who fell down. And she broke her hand very badly. I was about to leave for America. I had come out of my room. When I saw the child, I said, all right, doesn't matter. I'll cure this child first. They said, no, mother, but you are plain. I said, it's all right. forget it. So I got the child, treated the child, and she was all right. And after, I think, half an hour, I left. I left for the airport. And you'll be amazed to hear that that aeroplane was out of order, which was going to New York. So this plane is out of order. Then they said, all right, you can go by another plane which goes to Washington with the same ticket. I said, very good idea. Give me that. And I went by that. So that I reached Washington, which is a very, very nice airport to arrive, because there's no problem of customs, there is no crowd, nothing. All people go to New York, I don't know why. They should all go to Washington. It's very surprising. I discovered for myself that I wish I had not gone by that horrible plane to go to New York. Like that, everything works out. And the time comes what is good for you. It is such a lot of experience of mine which I can tell you, that to worry about time itself is a headache. If you leave it to this divine power and believe in it, then everything works out for your good. And if it does not, you must know that it is your testing. You must accept. You must learn to accept. Because whatever you have fixed up yourself as something very great is not. So what is the greatest thing you have to achieve? Your detachment. Then you become gunatit. Means, as you know, we have 3 gunas within us. One is that called as sattva guna, is the best. But there are 2 other gunas which are, as you know, that left side and right side. Either you are a right-sided person or a left-sided person. These 2 gunas within us are of no importance. Supposing you are a right-sided person, then what happens to you? You become overactive. Overactivity gives you fatigue, gives you all kinds of diseases which you have seen, and you have to cure right side. Such a person is extremely speedy. He cannot sit in one place for 2 minutes, all the time jumping, and he creates problems for himself and his family. Then the left-sided person, which we call as the tamoguna. The right side is rajoguna and the left side is one which is tamoguna. Tamo means darkness. Such a man is afraid of darkness. Darkness, everything he is afraid of. But he becomes a very intriguingly, very crooked person. He always tries to trouble people in a very crooked manner, not openly. While the right-sided man is openly a Hitler. But this one, the second one, the one who we call as Tamoguni, is the one who tries to trouble others very much. Rajoguni has an opinion of his own about everything. When he is so much having his own opinion, he goes on forcing it onto other person. But if you see his own life, he is in complete misery. He cannot carry on with people, he cannot talk to people, and there's a very big gap between himself, his spirit, and his being. The second type, the tamogunis, are the ones who end up with all kinds of diseases. Even the right-sided people get lots of diseases, but the left ones get it psychosomatic. Psychosomatic diseases are very dangerous and not curable by human doctors. So you have to take to surgery. But again you go to the right or to the left, again right to the left. This is not a very good attitude, I think, towards life, that you get bound by one of these gunas, or you are all the time like a pendulum moving from left to right, right to left. So you have to be a steady person. For that, you all have to meditate. I know immediately a person who meditates and I know who does not meditate. You will yourself know a person who meditates. It's a question of 10-15 minutes. But that you must do every night and morning about 5 minutes meditation. Then you develop your balance. You develop your tenacity. You develop your own body in such a manner that it can stand lots of nonsense. It can bear lots of things. You don't have then desires left. What food you should eat, when you should eat, whom you should please, nothing of the kind. You yourself become such a sweet person that everybody is pleased and understand that one has to be like you. The people see you and you become like a model. People start following you, that means you become a guru.